Relations between Pakistan and Afghanistan have been tense since the Taliban took power in 2021. On Monday, Pakistan summoned a senior Afghan diplomat after an attack claimed by the Pakistan Taliban, known by the acronym TPP. The group said it carried out 2 more attacks since, mostly against security forces.
As the Eurovision Song Contest took to the stage for the Saturday night final in Vienna, thousands protested outside against Israel's inclusion, and 5 countries boycotted the event over the genocidal war on Gaza. Pro-protesters marched through the Austrian capital to highlight what critics described as a double standard. The European Broadcasting Union, EBU, organisers refused to exclude Israel, despite banning Russia following its invasion of Ukraine 4 years ago. Have a nice...
The vibes around the current AI boom aren't great, even in the tech industry. According to a lengthy social media post from Menlo Ventures partner Didi Das, Das described San Francisco as pretty frenetic right now, as the divide in outcomes is the worst I've ever seen.
A man has driven his car into pedestrians in the northern Italian city of Modena, injuring 8 people, 4 seriously, officials say. They include a woman who reportedly had both her legs crushed.
Latvian President Edgars Rinkēvičs has backed opposition lawmaker Andris Kulbergs to replace Evika Silina for the top job after the Prime Minister resigned over an incident involving Ukrainian drones. Kulbergs, leader of the United List of Smaller Parties, which forms the largest opposition bloc in Parliament, will take office if lawmakers approve him and his cabinet.
Following a visit from United States President Donald Trump to China, the island of Taiwan has issued a statement saying it is sovereign and independent. But Saturday's statement added that Taiwan plans to maintain the cross-strait status quo, under which it will not officially declare independence from China. AI-powered marketing platform Nectar Social announced Thursday that it raised a $30 million Series A round led by Menlo Ventures and its Anthology Fund, which was created alongside Anthropic. The company, which officially exited stealth last year, is an agentic operating system for marketers. It told TechCrunch that it uses autonomous AI agents to help brands run social activity, moderation, creator workflows, competitive intelligence, and commerce conversations end-to-end. It also has data partnerships with companies like Meta and Reddit that allows the Nectar agent pull and pool data into one place from various platforms, rather than brands needing to use different tools to manage different platforms.
Shortly after a car ploughed into a crowd of pedestrians in Modena, Italy on Saturday, 4 Italian civilians stepped in and tackled the vehicle's driver, pulling him to the ground, according to the city's mayor. The madman, I don't know what to call him, the criminal who committed this act, he got out of the car brandishing a knife. Mayor Massimo Mezzetti told state-owned news agency RAI. 4 citizens, whom I thank, captured him and handed him over to law enforcement. Some 150,000 people descended on London in September for a rally organised by Tommy Robinson, an agitator who spreads anti-Muslim bigotry and has several criminal convictions. It felt like a watershed moment in British politics. Something in our country changed, Sadiq Khan, the mayor of London, said at the time. This felt different.
Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas has cast his ballot in internal Fatah leadership elections held at the presidential headquarters in Ramallah. The leaders were elected for the movement's Central Committee and Revolutionary Council at the Ahmad Shukayri Hall on Saturday. At least 80 deaths have been reported in the Democratic Republic of the Congos, DRC, new Ebola disease outbreak, authorities said, as health workers race to intensify screening and contact tracing to contain the disease. Nearly 250 suspected cases of the highly contagious hemorrhagic fever have been recorded in eastern DRC, according to the Health Ministry, with 1 death also reported in neighbouring Uganda. This has raised concerns that the disease could spread to neighbouring countries.
Orksiv a widely used open repository for preprint research, is doing more to crack down on the careless use of large language models in scientific papers. Although papers are posted to the site before they are peer-reviewed, ORCSIV, pronounced archive, has become one of the main ways that research circulates in fields like computer science and math, and the site itself has become a source of data on trends in scientific research.
A driver injured 7 people, 4 of them badly, when he drove on a sidewalk in the northern Italian city of Modena on Saturday, and then got out, possibly, account said the driver. Aged in his 30s, apparently aimed for the sidewalk, hitting a bike, then crashed while slamming head-on into a woman, badly hurt with both legs crushed. Mayor Massimo Mazzetti told local media and the ANSA news agency. Following Washington. The United States is entering a period of structurally higher industrial natural gas demand, with consumption expected to remain at record levels through at least 2027, even as the Iran war intensifies disruptions across global oil markets and tightens energy supplies worldwide. According to the latest short-term energy outlook from the U.S. Energy Information Administration, EIA, industrial natural gas consumption in the United States averaged a record 6 billion cubic feet per day, BFEV, exceeding the previous high of 23.4 BFEV recorded in 2023.
Islamabad. Federal Investigation Agency FIA Director General Dr. Usman Anwar took notice of an incident during a raid in Karachi's Sarafa Bazaar and sought a detailed report within 48 hours. On May 15, 2026, the agency carried out a raid on a jewellery shop in the market, targeting alleged silver smuggling.
Timmy, the young humpback whale who was stranded for weeks in shallow waters, has been found dead just off Denmark's coast, according to the Danish Environmental Protection Agency, just weeks after a controversial rescue effort set him free. The stranded humpback whale near Anholt is the same whale that was previously stranded in Germany and was the subject of rescue attempts. Jameson, head of division at the Danish Environmental Protection Agency, told CNN on Saturday. West Streeting, the former British Health Secretary, who resigned from the government this week, says he will run to replace Prime Minister Keir Starmer when the contest is triggered. Starmer's government has been on the edge, with the United Kingdom leader facing calls for resignation since his ruling Labour Party suffered disastrous local elections. Minister in charge of the Establishment Division, Senator Ahad Khan Chima, on Friday attributed the high failure rate in the Central Superior Services, CSS, examinations to inadequate academic preparation, the competitive nature of the test and other factors. The question was raised by PPP member of the National Assembly, MNA Sehar Kamran, who asked about the mechanism, criteria and process of the civil service examination for the induction of civil servants, as well as the reasons behind its high failure rate. Gunmen have kidnapped more than 50 children from 3 schools in the same town in northeastern Nigeria. Teachers and parents have told the BBC. Most of those missing are aged between 2 and 5 years old. Taiwan has insisted it is a sovereign, independent nation after US President Donald Trump cautioned it against formally declaring independence from China. Trump's remarks came after a 2-day summit in Beijing, after which he said he had made no commitment either way about the self-governing island, which China claims as part of its territory and has not ruled out taking by force.
Or Tehran, Iran, Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi says Iran remains ready to resume direct military conflict with the United States if negotiations fail to produce acceptable results. In a stream of state-orchestrated messaging to both domestic and foreign audiences, Araghchi also warned that despite the damage the US-Israel war on Iran has done to the region, it is also impacting ordinary American households. Antoine Semenyo produced one of the great FA Cup final goals with an audacious back flick that sealed Manchester City's 1-0 win against Chelsea at Wembley. Semenyo illuminated a largely scrappy final late in the second half as he improvised a sublime finish to caress Erling Haaland's cross into the net on Saturday.
Sudan's army has recaptured a town in southeastern Blue Nile state, a state that has become a focal point in the civil war with the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces (RSF) that's been raging for more than 3 years. The Sudanese army said in a statement on Friday that it had seized the town of Khor Hassan from the RSF.
The presidents of Nigeria and the United States have announced the killing of Abu Bilal al-Manuki, described as the second in command of ISIL. Donald Trump first made the announcement in a social media post on Friday without disclosing when or where the joint Nigerian-US military operation happened.
Hamas has confirmed the killing of Izz al-Din al-Haddad, the head of the armed wing of the Palestinian group in Gaza, in an Israeli attack a day earlier. Hamas condemned Israel's treacherous and cowardly assassination of al-Haddad, who led the Qassam brigades. In a statement on Saturday,
OpenAI co-founder and president Greg Brockman is officially taking the reins of the company's product strategy, according to Wired. This seems to solidify an already existing change, with Brockman overseeing OpenAI's products on an interim basis, while the company's CEO of AGI deployment, Fiji Simo, is out on medical leave. Wired also reports that in a staff memo, Brockman described plans to combine ChatGPT and its plans to combine Codex into a single unified experience.
working from home has its own perils. Pets can be demanding, your back aches from hours at a desk, or you simply forget to move. There are a few apps that nudge you to move around or indicate that you are not sitting in an ideal position, but they're easy to dismiss. I've spent the better part of a decade at a home desk, iterating on the setup as I go. Gaming chair, lumbar support, the works. None of it guarantees good posture. The works, no share. Liton Das struck a century to rescue Bangladesh from a top-order collapse as the hosts posted 278 in their first innings of the second and final test against Pakistan on Saturday. Pakistan reached 21-0 at stumps in reply with Azana Wise on 13 and Abdullah Fazal on 8 in Sylhet.
Tens of thousands of people are marching through central London in two separate protests. One pro-Palestine demonstration a day after Nakba Day, and the other a far-right rally staged by Tommy Robinson. Police in the British capital deployed 4,000 officers, including reinforcements from outside the city on Saturday, and pledged the most assertive possible use of our powers in what they called their biggest public order operation in years.
Today, Cerebras Systems is a public company for inference to giants like OpenAI and AWS. It held a blockbuster IPO on Thursday with both of its co-founders billionaires and ended the week worth about $60 billion. But in 2019, it came dangerously close to failure's old, incinerating a shocking amount of money. It was trying to solve a technical problem no one in the sacking data industry thought could be done.